Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to talk about how I learned French in 10 months and what is the best approach that you can use. So I'm not making this video as a part of marketing strategy or anything. I know I've talked about a course or something that I would launch for you, but now I've decided that I'm not gonna be making any courses or anything. I'm just not in the right time or right phase right now in life, so I cannot make a course or something like that and give value out of it. So I've decided to just give you all the things that you need to know for free, and I'm gonna be creating few videos like this one covering all the other topics that you need to know about. So in this video I'm just gonna talk about the basic part or the body of it, which is how you can learn the French, and then in the other videos I'll be talking about what you need to do for a specific module, which is like speaking or writing or something like that. And I think that I'm gonna be making only a few videos from now, maybe 5 or 7 videos about this topic, and after that I will not be making any videos in English, or I'm not sure. I've just decided that I don't like to make videos in English, and I might switch it up. So it's pretty uncertain right now. I'm just speaking what's in my head, so I'm just thinking out loud. And yeah, so without wasting any time, let's get into the video and let's talk about what you can do in order for you to learn French in 10 months. So learn French in 10 months is not like learning the whole French in 10 months. This is just basically in context of you passing the TEF Canada exam, and I'm not gonna talk about any other exam or anything like that. No TCF, no nothing. This is what I did. And if you're thinking that whether TEF is easier or TCF is easier, then I have had the same issue, but trust me, it's not about which one's easier or which one's not. Basically, it's about how you practice and how you approach the exam. So if you have the right way of approaching the exam, both of them are like equally, easier. But then for TEF Canada exam, what I've noticed is that they have a very good website on which they have a lot of examples and a lot of details about the exams, which you can use in order to prepare for the exam. Whilst for TCF, I couldn't just find like a official guideline or something like that for the exam. So that is something to keep in mind, and that is the reason why I chose TEF Canada. Though to me it always felt a little bit tough, the idea of using such abstract topics for speaking, like questioning about some advertisement and then trying to convince a friend for part B. So yeah, but if you approach it the right way, then I think you can easily crack the code. So I'll be going over how you can do that in upcoming videos. So also, one thing that I wanted to mention is that these videos are not gonna be heavily edited. So I am in no mood of editing. It takes a lot of time and I just don't have enough time right now. So I might throw in few references or sample images that you need to know, but apart from that, I'm not gonna be editing a lot of it. Yeah, and there are gonna be a lot of oohs and ahs in the video, so you have to deal with it, but I'll try to be as straightforward as I can. So first of all, let's talk about what and how you can begin. So French is a little different language. What you see written is not how you speak it, so the pronunciation differs quite a lot from the written language, and you need to learn the pronunciation first. And basically, if you're starting out, then I would say that you can begin with letters and numbers and everything like that, all the basics. Like if you know English, then just ask yourself, like, how are you going to learn English if you didn't know English? Like, what would you learn first? Of course you'll learn ABCD and then the numbers and shit like that, which is very common. And apart from that, what you need to learn is the sounds. So those are vowel sounds, basically any consonant and vowel combined. So there are a few very common ones, which is A, N, U, N, I, N, I, O, I, O, N. So these are specific sets of syllables and vowels which you need to learn, because the pronunciation makes a lot of difference. Because A-N and then U-N, they might seem similar, but their pronunciation makes a lot of difference. And if you don't understand that properly, then you'll have a very hard time figuring out the spellings, or even figuring out what the meaning is of something when you listen to it. Because A-N would go as like on, while UN will go as so there are a lot of other ones as well, like IN, so it is also different. And there's IM, U, basically EU, AU, and stuff like that. So you can figure that one out. Apart from that, what you need to do is you need to learn how you basically learn a language, because a lot of people, they just go by courses and do a lot of shit which is just not proven scientifically. And the most simple way to learn a language is to listen to a language. So if there is a baby, it's basically like an instrument, and the baby just keeps listening to it, and there's a lot of comprehensible input for the baby. So comprehensible input is to say that you say it in a way which makes sense. So you will point at a car and then say car. So basically the baby will register it as car. So then next time it sees that, it's a car, something like that. So that is comprehensible input. You should look into it, what is it and how you can use it for yourself. And yeah, the most important thing that you need to do is you need to learn how to learn, because this is something that we are not taught. And if you don't know how to learn, then it's going to be very hard. So as I told you, like you need comprehensible input. Then there is some other thing which is called I think deliberate practice. So there are certain things which will be harder for you, and depends on which language you are coming from. So if you have a very good grip on English, certain things will be very easier for you. But if you are coming from some totally different language like Chinese or something like that, then the whole French language in general will be a lot difficult. So yeah, there is something called deliberate practice. So let's say you are very weak on the questioning part, or you are weak in making questions, so you will need to do deliberate practice. That is to say that you would allot a specific time period every single day, and you will practice that particular thing. And that is how you can do deliberate practice. So you should look into what is deliberate practice, what is comprehensible input, and how you can apply it to learn French in your particular situation, because everybody's gonna have a different time, resources, and everything. So you'll need to look into that. And the last thing is spaced repetition. So this is something that you can use for grammar. So grammar is basically something that a lot of people have trouble with. So for me personally, I did not use any particular, like a very well structured method of learning grammar. So I would just look into what a grammar topic is, and then I would basically see it, and then just keep on doing my listening and active and passive learning practice. And then if the grammar topic comes in, then I just basically recall that, yeah, this is what which grammar topic is used over here. So that is how you can learn grammar. So basically you don't need to learn the rules or anything by heart. Just look at it. Like if you're seeing past continuous tense or past perfect tense in French, then just look at the details and how it's done, and then just don't try to memorize it. Just keep it in mind, pay attention to it, and then just keep your learning going. After maybe a week or so, come back to it, have a quick look, and then do it again. So that is how you can learn grammar. And you'll need to build your own strategy, because I cannot just give you a particular routine that'll work for you. It's just not like that. For me, what I did was like I looked into a lot of different things and just built something of my own which worked for me. And the one that I built for me, I couldn't find it anywhere, because my situation was different. Like the amount of practice I was doing was different, the frequency was very different. There were times when I was just not doing anything because I wasn't sure like whether I'm doing it right or not. So yeah, you go through a lot of this, and it's all gonna be a part of the bigger picture. So if you think that you are not progressing, well, you have to not progress in order for you to figure out that okay, these are the things that you are doing and these are not working out for you. This is where you want to go, and maybe you need to figure out some other path which will take you there. So you would reverse engineer your goal. So you can do it by just learning what you are trying to learn and knowing more about it, and then approaching it in a different way if your current method is not working. So that is something to keep in mind. So you would get those basics in, and now you would move on to English and French beginner stories, so A1 A2 level stories, which are AI generated content. And AI does a good job. It uses very low level vocabulary and everything. So this is something that you will need to do for, I would say, 1 to 2 months. So you need to do this for at least 1 hour a day. So you listen to those 10-minute stories, and you do it for a month or 2 months, and then when you do that, you will acquire a lot of vocabulary, and then basic sentences, you would have acquired a lot of them. Though you might not know how to use them yet, you might not be able to speak, but your brain would create this library of abstract information, and you'll need to just keep on going for a month or two, and then after that try to jump onto intermediate stories or intermediate content. And you can use AI generated content again. I think there are some channels on YouTube which make like 20-30 minute long videos of intermediate French, and one of them is Easy French, Français Facile. It's basically AI generated content. You see the text on the screen and they read it out. So that is something that you should do. And after passing that A1 level stories, which is in English and French, you should go to this intermediate, and you should spend about a month over there. So it'll be a total of 3 months of just listening to content and consuming grammar alongside. Apart from this, then after you are done with that for 3 months, you can move on to intermediate content by people like Inner French, or there are some other creators that you can watch. But Inner French, I would say it's a pretty good place to learn French. So for me, what I did was I just took like the first 15 episodes and I just watched them or listened to them on the repeat mode, because in one listening you will not be able to understand, and then in two listening as well you will not be able to grasp the whole topic. So the more you repeat, the more you can learn. So rather than watching 150 videos, 150 different videos, just watch 15 videos, but watch them 10 times. And I'm not saying it like you watched it, now play it again. Just do it like have some gap between that. So if you have watched episode 1, then maybe don't do it today. Like watch episode 2, 3, 4 for the next week, and then after a week come back to episode number 1. Then maybe after a couple weeks come back to episode number 1. So that's how you can do spaced repetition. That'll help you quite a lot to cement the older topics or vocabulary or sentences that you have learned, and also make sense of the things that you weren't able to understand in the first or second listening. And the other thing is you need to explore a lot. So you cannot just rely on something which is very okay. So you think that okay, this works, but this is not that great. Then find something else, especially after you have reached intermediate level. This is the phase where you will see no progress for at least like a month or two. So you'll need to find a YouTube channel that you can watch for a longer amount of time. So you can watch entertainment channels and stuff like that. So you'll need to find such channels. For me, there's one channel which is called Matt Kai's. It's a self-development channel, basically book summary channel. So I used to listen to those videos again and again, and basically spaced repetition over there as well. But in all of this, if I were to just sum it up, then what you need to do is you need to listen to French a lot. So if I were to summarize, like let's say I did it in 10 months. So for 10 months, for the first 8 months, you need to do a lot of listening. And by that I mean you need to listen to content for at least 2 hours every single day. So this is not strict. You can listen to something for 30 minutes a day, but then if you are able to, then you should do it for 4 hours the other day, and vice versa. You can do it on the way to your work, on the way back from work, when you are doing your dishes, especially household chores. That is something that you can utilize a lot. So yeah, listening is something very important. And in this, if you don't have a good pair of earbuds, I would recommend you to buy a good pair of earbuds, because it's gonna pay out, trust me. Like, I had this Sennheiser Momentum 4s, and I really liked those, and those were very convenient, which helped me a lot to listen to it. I was wearing them for like 6-7 hours every single day, and it does really help. So yeah, if you don't have good quality earbuds, then I would do suggest you that please buy one, and it will help you quite a lot in learning French. But the other thing that you should do is always take days off, like, rather than going, because you'll not be able to understand whether you are going on the right path or not unless you stop and do nothing. Because there were times when I was just very scared from the exam, and I did not have a lot of time, but what I did was just like, I did not do anything at all, and then it just cleared my mind. Okay, this is what is important, this is what I need to do, this is what they expect out of me, and this is what I'm gonna do. So even if I do it for 1 hour, it's better than doing some random stuff for 10 hours. So that is something. And if you have to take like a week off or something, then you should do it. It's not that bad deal. Bigger picture, it does not matter. But then if you have some very bad habits, then you need to cut down on them, especially the habits which drain your dopamine. So basically, dopamine is like a toothpaste, I believe. So every day it's like a brand new toothpaste, and you are doing activities which is basically just squeezing the toothpaste, and when it's new, when it's fresh, it just releases a lot of toothpaste. But then once you have gone past a certain limit, you have to do a lot, and you'll not be able to get a lot out. So dopamine works similarly. And so if you have some bad habits, like using your phone for like an hour or two first thing in the morning, and then just listening to a lot of energetic music and everything, then you should cut down on it. You should just maybe do a little bit of research into what dopamine is and how it works, and how you should be leveraging it in order for you to learn your French. And trust me, this is just like another project. You should not treat it as a do or die situation or anything like that. It is just problem solving. So approach it like that. And apart from this, what I would suggest you is listening is what I would suggest you. And then grammar, as I told you, that you don't need to learn it by heart. You should just maybe pay attention. And yeah, that brings me to another thing, which is learning is basically paying attention. So I know this might be a little hard for you to understand, but you do not learn by trying to learn. So you cannot just read something and just read it and learn it. So how you learn is basically you have your whole body and mind, and you use it to pay attention to something. So if you use the whole body mind to pay attention to something where you are not distracted and you are just paying attention to that thing, then your brain takes that information in. And when you sleep, that is where the learning happens. So if you have paid a lot of attention to something, your brain would think that, okay, this is important, and your brain will store it. And learning happens basically in REM sleep, as far as I know. So if you pay a good amount of attention, high quality attention, which is not divided, not distracted, then basically learning is just a byproduct of that. So rather than trying to learn the language, just pay attention to the language when you are listening. Pay attention when you can, of course. There are going to be times when you are just listening, but you are not paying attention to what you are listening because you are doing something rather important, and that's fine. But when you have the time, you should be paying a lot of attention to what you are listening to. And that is also true for the grammar. So if you are learning grammar, just pay attention to the grammar topic and how it is and how it functions, rather than trying to remember it. because if you pay enough attention, your brain will give the allotted memory to it, and it'll get stored in your brain. And of course, when you repeat it over and over again after a certain period of time, then it just gets cemented in the brain. Let me give you an example. Like if there is something that you are thinking about during the day, maybe an old memory or something like that, and you just are thinking just about that, and then when you sleep you get dreams about it. This is your brain just processing that information, and you get the dreams in REM sleep. So in REM sleep, when the brain is processing that information which you are paying a lot of attention to, you get dreams about it, right? I'm not saying that you're gonna get dreams about French, because unless you learn it properly, it's just gonna be very abstract and you're not gonna get dreams about it. But yeah, so you should also look into like how learning works, how one learns something, and it is pretty interesting. You should use it as a tool, and it'll help you quite a lot, because you cannot master something which you don't understand. So if you understand something, then it's going to be very easy for you to do. And in all of these, what is important is your why do you want to do it, of course, your willpower, and your belief in yourself. Apart from this, you need a great deal of problem solving, a great deal of critical thinking, and a great deal of self understanding. Because if you do not understand yourself, you're not gonna be able to do anything. It's just gonna be random information from everywhere which you are gonna gather and try to use it, and you will not be even aware of like what the fuck you are doing, because you just don't even know who you are, how you function, and what your strengths and weaknesses are and everything. So rather than just trying to copy or take something from somebody, first understand how you are, what your mind body structure is, what is optimal for you, and then use the information as a tool, and use it in a way that is optimal for you, rather than just taking it and copying it and pasting it without any modifications. So this is what I think all you need to know about learning French. So there are a few basic things that you need to master when you learn French. First one is pronunciation. Second is the sounds, which is A-N, U-N, and so on. And apart from this, you need to do the basic grammar, which is articles and everything. To be honest, I never remember grammar topics. I know a lot of English, but I don't know what an adjective is, or like I don't even know a lot of the rules about grammar. I just use English as it is. I was very interested in smartphones and everything, and I just listened to a lot of content, and it was also comprehensible input, because they were pointing at the smartphone and then showing the apps and those settings and everything, and then speaking alongside, which was enough for me to learn English. I did not need to know like, okay, this guy is using adjective over here, and then this is subject, this is object, or whatever the fuck that is. So you don't need to do anything in a particular way. You don't need to follow the rules. All you need is understanding of yourself and how you work. Because for me, I knew it for sure that English is something that I have learned without learning the rules, without learning or without using the typical techniques or taking the courses or doing the textbook learning or whatever. I just watched a lot of fucking content and I learned English. Like, it was just 3-4 months, and all of a sudden I was like from A2 to B2, and that is something which has happened in French as well. But this time around I was working and I had a lot of things to do. I wasn't just a teenager now. My brain has also grown a little bit, so the plasticity aspect of my brain has gone down, and I also knew all those stuff. So I knew that maybe this time around, rather than 3 or 4 months, it might take me 5 or 6 months, but I'll be able to do it because I've done it before. And this is how basically everybody learns the language. It's by listening, comprehensible input, spaced repetition, and what was the other thing, you know it. So yeah, this is what I wanted to tell you, and this is how you can learn French in 10 months, or if you are like able to understand yourself better and then implement the techniques properly. I just learned the techniques along the way. It wasn't like I learned the things that I needed first and then I implemented it. I was just learning as I was going. So it took me 10 months, but yeah, if you are able to learn those things beforehand and understand yourself better, then you might be able to do it in 8 months. Because even for exam specific preparation, I did not have the tools. I developed them on the way there. I never talked to a fucking French person in my life. I only did it twice. First one was in my first exam attempt, and second one was in the second attempt. So you don't need to go by the rules. Just if you know yourself, you'll be able to do better. If you know that, okay, I don't need to talk to anybody to like practice speaking or whatever it is, then you'll be able to do it. But if you think that, okay, this is what a lot of these great guys are saying, then it must be true and I need to do that, then well, good luck. Because rather than understanding who you are, you're just following somebody else's advice, which might not work for you. Because for me personally, I don't like to talk to strangers, or I just don't get along with a lot of people. And especially I don't like to follow society norms, or what do you call those, I don't know what's the word or what's the term for it. Basically, like, this is how you are supposed to behave, this is how you are supposed to do it. I just don't like that. I'm a very normal person. I come from a village, and then I have grown from there, so I have my roots, and they just don't match with this modern thing. And that's why I never took a course, never talked to a professional tutor or whatever that thing is where you go and practice your so-called speaking. I don't even know, like, when you look into it, like, they just want to prove that they are a good teacher rather than trying to understand that what is it that you are trying to achieve and how you can get there faster. Rather, they would give you this lollipop, and then they will tell you that, okay, you like the lollipop, right? Then okay, come back next time, pay the fees again, and then try the lollipop again. Anyways, I don't want to hate anybody. This is just what I felt, and it could be different for you. You might be totally different, and I know this is just free information, and a lot of people will be just going about and complaining in the comment section or whatever. But yeah, good luck, man. Do your thing. This is what I did, this is how I did, and this is what I wanted to tell you. So this is me telling you what I did, what you can do. Apparently, if you want, you're not obligated to do it. But yeah, if you have any questions, do leave them in the comment section. Because I cannot just think and say things that you want to know. You'll need to ask me, and if I have the time, I'll answer those in the future videos. And sorry, I might not be replying to your DMs or whatever, because I'm just not going to be doing a course or whatever right now. I'm just doing these free videos, and I hope that helps. In the upcoming videos, we'll go over all that you can do, or all that you need to do, or all that I did to pass speaking exam without taking classes or whatever, spending any money basically. And we'll do the same for reading, listening, and writing as well. And apart from that, I'll maybe make a video about the whole exam, and what are the questions like, and what is everything. So well, I'll see you very shortly, I hope. And until then, if you have any questions, then leave them in the comment section.